Hey everyone, it's Miss Chapman here from Laurel Meadow Elementary School, and we are going to read about nature's giants. And you can find this book in your Frog Street portal if you would like to go back and look at this book again. Nature's giants. What do you think of when you think of the word nature? Things around you in your outdoors, in your backyard, in your community? Look at the pictures, they can give you some clues. I see a tree, a moon, maybe the ocean, a field of flowers, a giant iceberg. Are all of these things giant? So we're going to be talking about things in nature that are giant. Be thinking as we read along, what do you think of when you think of the word giant? Is it a mountaintop? Is it a skyscraper, a giant fire truck, a giant hot air balloon? But everything in this book is made by nature. So this is going to be something that you're going to find that was already there. Let's read and find out more about nature's giants. Come read with me. Look at that beautiful picture of the ocean and the waves. That's something we see in nature if you go to the beach. And some of you for Memorial Day weekend might have traveled to the beach to see the ocean and hear the waves roaring and crashing. Earth is filled with wonders, large and small, from tiny sea creatures to majestic mountains. Have you ever been to the mountains? If you travel west, in our state of Virginia, you can get to some mountains and maybe see how majestic they are. Look at these mountains. They look like they're covered with maybe some snow or some fog. And do you see that giant tree? So when you think about Earth, it's everywhere and it's filled with a lot of wonders, large and small. Let's keep reading and see what else we can find that is giant in nature. Giant animals roaming on land, flying in the air, swimming in the ocean. Which animal is swimming in the ocean that was giant and magnificent? Do you see that whale? And that elephant roaming on the land? Who's flying in the air? Do you ever look up high and look for those bald eagles and that white polar bear? Where do you think that polar bear lives? Does he live near an ocean? Does he live where it's super cold? Think about the word magnificent. What do you think of when you hear magnificent? Doesn't that sound like wonderful? Wow. Let's find out some other things in nature. Wow, what is that? That is beautiful. It is majestic. What do you think of when you think of majestic? Something beautiful? Giant rocks rising from the sea, forming mountain peaks, or standing on a desert sand. Do you see all these majestic mountains that were just formed in nature? Forming right out of the sea. How majestic is that? Pretty cool, right? Wouldn't you like to go visit some of these places? Maybe when you get older, you will travel and see some of these giant things made by nature. If you want to find that majestic standing on the desert sand, you might have to travel out west where you can find the desert. Giant trees reaching from the sky, spreading its mighty limbs, shading life below. Regal. You ever heard that word, regal? Representing something. Look at the tree. Reaching for the sky. If you reach your hands up super tall, can you reach and pretend you're reaching for the sky? And you could stand like a giant tree right in your backyard. And what do those mighty limbs do? And mighty means strong and fierce. Shading life below. Does that mean trees give us shade below? They sure do. These are some giant trees. I'm not sure I could even wrap my arms around these trees. How about you? Bet some animals would love to climb these trees and make a home, especially a bald eagle way up top in the treetops. Giant ice formations stretching out of sight, floating on the sea, covering the mountaintops. Splendid. Does that look splendid? Sure does. Those giant ice formations coming right out of the ocean. Wow, what do we call those? Is that an iceberg? And look at that super cool bus with those big tires. Do you think he can drive easily in that ice and snow? He sure can. And you can see the snow covering the mountaintops. Isn't that splendid? I'd say so. How would you like to live here and ride on that school bus to school? Wouldn't that be splendid? I think so too. Be pretty cool. Giant oceans caressing the horizon, crashing to the shore, hiding life below. Powerful. When you see an ocean crashing against the horizon or the shore, do you think that it is powerful when those waves crash and the water goes flying high? It's pretty powerful, isn't it? And do you see that cute little seahorse hiding underwater? So the ocean does hide all that sea animals and life living under the water that we can't see. How would we go see some animals under the ocean water? What will we have to do? Maybe go scuba diving, get our snorkel and mask, and go look at some of these sea creatures? If we go visit an aquarium, we could definitely see some sea creatures that live in the ocean. Powerful. Next time you go to the ocean, look for some powerful waves. And what happens when they hit us and we're standing in the water? Do they make us fall? The ocean is quite powerful. Giant rivers winding through the land, carrying transport, revealing beauty with every turn. Go left, right. It's like a big curve. And when you look at this river, do you think of peaceful? What does it mean to be peaceful? Calm, relaxing. It's a nice, smooth river flowing quietly, not like that crashing ocean, but very peaceful. You would have a very peaceful ride on this giant river going left, right. And look, it's carrying some transport. So you see that boat? That is bringing in some supplies for people. Isn't that a beautiful giant river winding through the land? I would find that peaceful. Giant waterfalls tumbling over the rocks, dancing through the air, plunging to the ground, resounding. When you hear giant waterfalls tumbling over the rocks, does that sound peaceful and relaxing? It's like big heavy raindrops crashing on the rocks below, plunging to the ground. Have you ever plunged, and when you jumped off a big rock, you're plunging to the ground and the water just tumbles over the rocks? Some people find this noise very resounding and relaxing. It's very calming. Some people like to sleep to these sounds. That is quite a giant waterfall. That would be great to go see. Do you see the little boy standing there looking at the waterfall? If you go to the mountains, you can see little waterfalls right here in Virginia at Crabtree Falls. And you can see a small waterfall. Let's see what else we can find in nature. Ooh, the giant sun, lighting the day, shining through the trees, warming the earth. Royal. Do you think of something royal like Cinderella in the castle when you see that beautiful sun lighting the day, shining through the trees and making the earth super warm? How does the sun feel to you when it shines on you? Doesn't it make you feel warm? That is a giant sun in the sky. Next time you're outside, see if you can find a giant sun in the sky, lighting the way. Look at those beautiful fields, helping the flowers grow and the trees and the grass. What a pretty picture. Giant moon gliding across the sky, playing hide and seek, chasing the sun away. Mysterious. And when you think of mysterious, isn't it kind of like spooky, creepy? You don't know what's going to happen next. The moon is mysterious, playing hide and seek, and it's chasing the sun away. Because when the moon comes up, the sun goes down, gliding across the sky. Next time, look for a giant moon in the sky. There's that ocean with those beautiful waves. That can also be a relaxing sound. Very mysterious. Huge, enormous, gigantic, and tall, magnificent, majestic, regal, splendid, powerful, peaceful, resounding, royal, and mysterious. Earth's giants, one and all. When you go outside in nature around your house or in your community, look for some of these huge, gigantic, tall, powerful, peaceful, resounding, and mysterious. All things made right here on planet Earth in your backyard. One and all, I bet you have seen some of these things. You can also hear some of nature's peaceful, magnificent, and splendid, mysterious sounds even right here in your backyard. And here is a nice glossary which gives you the definition of all of these words. Just in case you don't know what something means, you look in a glossary and it will give you the definition. So the first one up there is a glacier. And if you wanted to know what a glacier is, it would tell you that it's a large ice mass where snow accumulates more than it will melt, and it moves slowly across the land. Pretty cool that it gives you definitions. It's really important when you come across a word that you don't know to make a habit of looking it up. It will give you a great vocabulary and help you learn some new words. And it's nothing wrong with not knowing, because it's okay to look it up. Even as old as I am, I still have to look up words, and it's okay. And then that gives you some information about the author who wrote this beautiful story, and then the photographer who actually took these real life pictures to put in the story to tell you all about nature's giants. And on the back cover, it gives you nature's giants all over again that we saw in the story. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please be looking around for nature's giants right here in Mechanicsville, Virginia, and in your backyard. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. We missed you. See you soon.